What's up, guys? We got another siege. Playing against Doubt once again. Doubt and Aftermath Unleashed, I think. Not entirely sure. One of the Aftermaths. But every hit that I did here had some LD5s in there. So hence the thumbnail. And some of them were actually a lot stronger than I thought. This one in this case, well, the Miying is not fully in tune to be fast enough. Maybe I should speed up the Miying a little bit to make this a little bit safer. But in most cases, the cleanup of this team is just strong enough as long as I just kill that first unit. The other units kind of tend to fall afterwards. Miying can still kind of pack a punch on like survivability. Miying. How do you say the difference between Miying and Miyang? I guess that's the difference. One is a panda bear and the other one is standing in some beach clothes. I guess that's the big difference. But yeah, this is my favorite offense. Also, if you click on your name in Siege, one of the Siege interfaces, you show what is your best offense. This is the one that shows for me right now. Then my second offense, which is the Ian. I do get outsped on this from time to time, and in this case, the whole team was built as a Leo trap. And if it's built as a Leo trap, there is no way that you're outspeeding. That's just as simple as it is. With this team, it is very nice though, but people have been asking me, should I build Ian on some speed? Yes. Because how the skill works, that is fast pace. Fast pace will reset the attack bar from everyone to 0. So everyone starts recounting on their speed. However, you give one unit the speed buff, and then that unit has to start lapping. So Eon, you could lower the damage a little bit by artifacts and give him speed increasing artifacts, because that is the way that he outspeeds the other units at that moment. So he's really just outspeeding by that speed buff. But if he's not that fast, then you might have issues that other things start cutting and that kind of stuff. So yeah, that is something that you have to keep in mind if you build the Eon team. But I heard from quite some people, Eon is pretty difficult to take a lot of damage. And the main issue is he's Resistance Awakening. And that Resistance Awakening just makes him a bit worse. So this team doesn't have an LD5 though, but it has an LD4 that's pretty much classified an LD5. So this is the question I got a few times as well. What do you do when you don't land that armor break on that team? Isn't that like super tricky? Well, best answer is you kind of just bruise her out. In this case, maybe I should have done the skill 3 just to get longer immunity in there. But you just kind of wait it out, and at that point, the moment that the waiting out is there, you just start killing from that point. So could you have some issues against Kinky? Yes, you kind of have to time the skill of Mieng pretty right, and with that, it's still kind of doable. Did not really expect that to crit. Maybe I should have hit on the right side, but then it could have been that Kinky would have been, or the Kali would have been already armor broken. In this case, still is armor broken. If it would have proc there a few times, I might have had like a really bad spot over there. But all I needed was one more God of Fire into, what is it called? Blade Dance. I think it's called Blade Dance on this skill as well. Blade Fan, actually. Close enough. But yeah, that's a lot of damage on speed buff, attack buff, and we still win. Kind of tricky of a hit though. Next hit, typical hit. Also, once again, an LD5. In this case, we have the LD5 that is Bella. Pretty strong one out there as well. Most typically used in this team. There are a few counters to it, but this is my proper counter to it because I will know that you could actually make a swift Bella and that could maybe trap me, but I use a pretty fast Tiana for this as well. So I switch like fast runes to the Tiana just to be sure that things go okay on that occasion, and then it's a pretty free kill as long as I hit my stuff on the breath, most likely. Next hit, we have another hit with the Eleanor, and also once again an LD Miying in this case. And in this case, this whole team, I'm not really sure, this was more of a backline team anyways. This team was very straightforward, and I could even just throw in that Dominic in here, simply because I knew that the Miying would always target my pony, and I have a minus 26 on dark on that pony. So that's not really gonna do anything anytime soon. Plus, I know that the Manon is always going to target one of the 2 left units. So yeah, this whole team is not going to do anything to me whatsoever. So let's speed this up a little bit. Because yeah, it's just very simple, very straightforward. And that's why you kind of need some random RNG in your team. You could maybe say that, oh, I was double parried there. Otherwise, I would have killed if one of the 2 hits didn't get parried. So it took a little bit longer. But in the end, I just went for Dominic on full damage. And I had to wait out the hit because this was a snipe. So I had to wait it out. Then the next hit, something I haven't really seen on defense. They actually had a full tower of this one. Is this a really good Narsha defense? I'm not entirely sure. I do definitely think it has potential. If it was Swift in there, it could have maybe given me some issues. But in most cases, I felt like probably this is still definitely a fine hit to do. And this whole team is just a lot of damage. And actually after this, I switched a few things. Maybe I what's it called? Maximilian even strong. But yeah, Maximilian offense, definitely a really good unit for it. You just have to make sure that you're not getting outspat, and you have to make sure that, well, most of the time I actually do use it with Tiana though, but in this case I felt like the Robo was more sophisticated. I do have plenty of Tianas. Usefulness of keeping dupes. So we're actually fighting the defense that I fought against last time with the Odin, and the Odin wasn't managing to snipe out the beta, and now I went for a more, I would say, safer route. So the safer route against this was trying to keep like a good uptime of immunity the moment that Kiki's was getting turns. So every time Kiki gets a turn and I have immunity up, there's pretty much no danger. Also, the moment that you put the Narsha in the human state, there's like you remove a lot of danger from that as well. So those are the two things that I was aiming for. Getting Narsha to the human state, very nice procer over there actually, otherwise that heal block might have been a little bit troublesome. Probably would have been troublesome, so just in time to bring in the immunity, so Kiki's not gonna do too much, but I do take a few hits over here and a few hits over there. There is a decent amount of resistance on that Leo, so is this a tricky hit? Yeah, it's still a tricky hit, but that's also, the person that I'm fighting has very good rune quality, because this is a Deus defense, which from Dalp right now, probably one of the best rune qualities out there. So in this case, also, I went for immunity over healing. Still proccing. I proc a lot on this team, apparently. That definitely does help out quite a bit. But the moment that it's in human form, the unit is not really going to do all too much. So that was the main idea behind it. I would have said, like, if I still had my Maxi or I still had my Nefties, I would definitely hit it with that. But this is the more, yeah, just the different way of hitting it. Could you also hit this, for example, with like a Bolvric kind of style? I do think so. Just have to be careful with getting buff blocks if you go for that. And the moment you destroy the HP on the Kiki, it's definitely something that would drop down a bit. But then again, are you going to fight this exact combo too often? Well, there's not too many people or accounts that have these two LDs right next to each other, which I definitely do think that is a great combination of using LDs together. He has another combination that's coming afterwards, and I think that one is even stronger. Well, actually, it caught me more by surprise than this one. This one caught me by surprise last time because of the tankiness on the beta. But you do have HP lead from a Kiki, I think. Yeah, I do think so. So Kiki's still very good. Like, people saying like, oh, Kiki got super nerfed and it's nowhere good for defense anymore. I do still think it's definitely a very good unit for defense, but this fight is definitely already over, so just let's skip forward a bit, and I had to... But this fight is definitely over, but let's skip forward a bit and go to the next one. So next one, this is actually where I could use my Cassandra team with the Odin. I kind of expected everything to be super slow, like teams like this don't tend to be faster than like 270, so in that case, pretty easy, straightforward. He doesn't have too many form of strips, I have way too many debuffs. And then you're just clapping one after another. Pretty simple like this. Definitely do like the offense. The thing is, with current meta, you can't use it all too much though, because a lot of things have speed leads. So then, this is my Lucian. I've showcased it before. Fighting another team with two LDs. Those are pretty dangerous LDs. I would definitely like this as an offense. Probably put Diana in the middle as an offense. But that's a very strong defense as well with how fast it was, because it did outspeed my units. However, can't survive 21k per hit on the cards, but I got lucky on that one. That was definitely a very fast one. But then the final hit, and this is one that caught me by surprise as well. Another Maximilian. We've seen so many Maximilians. Does everyone suddenly have Maximilian? But also that Iris was doing so much damage. I was like, wait, everything is doing so much damage. And I forgot about heal block. Heal block actually killed me right there. I'm like, shit, this is dangerous. So yeah, I never really thought about the combination of Sigrid together with a Maximilian. There's a lot of LD. We're just fighting all LDs. So yeah, we do have this unit coming back, and I went for the healer first, so I can just kind of sustain out with Camilla. And I did notice that there was a lot of additional damage artifacts on, well, I think the whole team. If you just go a lot of additional damage by attack on this whole team getting attack buffs the whole time, this is dangerous as hell. So yeah, definitely a very dangerous team. I also thought like Maximilian goes for Awakening and crit rate, so most likely will be decent on crit, whereas Iris probably is no crit. So those also give me the options of deciding to go for the Iris first. But yeah, in the end we do manage to kill it, but that was very close for comfort. And I've showed my Windy before. My Windy has about plus 34k HP and plus 1000 defense. This did not really look like those kind of stats. I think I had minus light on it, or minus dark. I'm not entirely sure, but wow, this team was definitely a very nice one. And if I ever pull a secret, which probably won't happen because pulling the specific net 5 that you want, or LD5 that you want, most likely doesn't really happen. But damn, that was definitely an interesting defense that I did not really expect. Did end up with the 10-10, but that was definitely something that I was like, yo, that's some interesting thing out there. And yeah, we fought LDs only, so that's still use my typical offense, but we fought LDs only. It was definitely a fun siege. Guys, I hope you enjoyed. And see you as always in the next one.